Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design, and today I'm going to do a review, an info review on the M2. Now, the M2 is a bottom feed stove, and like the M1, it comes with a fuel line, but without the nipple cap. And like the M1, the reason why I'm doing that is I didn't want to add $10 more to the price of this stove and sell you a nipple cap if you already had one. So I made it an option to buy it with or without the nipple cap. And once again, like the M1, the nipple cap for this is on the home page of the website. First item, SKU number 42, nipple cap for 4 and 8 ounce bottle with micro nipple. And this stove takes a micro fuel line. If you want to buy an extra one, I think it's in cooking gear, I'm not sure, but anyway, micro fuel line. Okay, now this stove is hotter than the M1, and there's a couple of reasons for that. First off, pretty obvious that it has a bigger wick on it. The wick area is doubled, so it's almost twice as hot. In fact, it may be twice as hot. It has a standard 3/4 wick in the middle, if I can get it out here, just like the M1, but it also has this donut wick. Now, when you receive this stove, this donut wick is bonded to the top spacer. As time goes by, after it's been burned, I don't know how many times, maybe 20 times, this slowly will come off. The glue that it's held on with will come off, will give up, and it'll come off. Now, you don't need this to be glued to that. The main reason I glued on there is so that when you get it, even no matter what it's been through from shipping, that will be where it's supposed to be, and there'll be no question about it. But actually, in reality, this donut will be held on by the inner wick. And if you ever wanted to use this for like cooking pancakes or something where you're going to cook for a long time at low heat, and this has debonded, I wouldn't glue it back on again. I would just leave it that way so you could take it off if you wanted to and turn it into a M1 fairly easily. Okay, what else is different about this stove? First off, the body is a little bit longer, which gives you more alcohol volume. But because of that, it doesn't work quite as well with the 4-loop pot stand because it's a little bit higher. I would recommend using either the 5x18 or the 5x23 pot stand for this, because it is a little bit taller, and it really, with the 4-loop, it doesn't really have space enough between it and the pot. And like I said, the body is longer, and that's why, and it holds more alcohol, which means it'll burn a longer time. Now, it is a bottom feed with a removable 1/16 nipple threaded with 1032. And if you want to go to the heavier line because you're going to use this in a high temperature place like the M1, this nipple can be simply unscrewed, and a 1/8 inch nipple can be screwed in, and you can go to the large fuel line. This stove, because it has the higher volume and has the donut on it, will burn about twice as long as probably twice as long as the M1, probably 5 or 6 minutes between refills, maybe even longer than that. And if you want to go to a simmer, it'll go from full burn to simmer mode in about 4 minutes, and then it'll simmer for like another 10. Okay, this weighs 2 grams more than the M1. The M1 weighs 21, and this weighs 23. It has the bottom is the same as the M1. It's gone in with a mill and flattened the bottom right out to give it the maximum volume. And the silicone here is easily replaceable. It works well with, I wouldn't recommend using this with a beer can pot with the donut on it because I think it's a little bit too hot. You get a fair amount of flame up the side, but it will work. It's just a little bit wasteful, probably not as efficient as the M1. I would probably use this with a Snow Peak 600 cup or a Snow Peak 700 cup, all the way up to the 0.85 liter Titan kettle. Even a 1 liter kettle, this will work fairly well. Boil time on this with a beer can, or well, boil time with a Snow Peak 600 or 700 is about 6.5 minutes. So this would work well for your primary stove, and certainly you can't go with anything any more compact and lighter. I think basically this is everything we need to know on the M2. I'm sitting here looking at it. I can't think of anything I've left out. What's left out in this is certainly covered in the M1. So that pretty much covers everything on the M2. It's just halfway between the M3 and the M1 on heat. Has a little bit longer body than the M1. Has a smaller top than the M3. And I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike, take a friend, enjoy the great outdoors, and more important than anything, be nice, leave no trace, and have a really great day. Bye-bye.